With the war in Iran showing no signs of slowing down, much of the focus has been on the Strait of Hormuz and protecting the world's oil supply. But as David Martin reports, that's far from the only concern.
Iran never gets a nuclear weapon. Our objectives from day one.
Defense Secretary Hegseth says each day's airstrikes are bigger than the last. But at the start of the fourth week of war, eliminating Iran's nuclear program from the air remains a daunting task. Does Iran still have stockpiles of enriched uranium?
Yes, it does, and it has a very significant stockpile.
Physicist David Albright is president of the Institute for Science and International Security and a preeminent expert on Iran's nuclear ambitions. How much?
Well, it's got about 10 tons of enriched uranium, and a lot of that is in the form of 60% enriched uranium, and which is very close to weapon-grade uranium.
How is this enriched uranium stored?
It's stored in tanks. 60% is stored in a pretty small cylinder. It's about the same size as a scuba tank.
Without enriched uranium, Iran cannot build a nuclear weapon.
It's their most valuable asset. It's the crown jewels.
Does anybody know where this 60% enriched uranium is?
The International Atomic Energy Agency believes that about half of it is in the Isfahan, we call it the Isfahan Mountain complex. And perhaps Iran decided that's the safest place for it.
That's what, between about 450 pounds of 60% enriched uranium?
You know, it's enough for 5 nuclear weapons.
This is what the Isfahan Mountain complex looks like on Google Earth. Those tunnel entrances have been attacked and buried in debris, but the chambers where the enriched uranium is believed to be stored lie deep within. Can the U.S. destroy this stockpile with airstrikes?
Not easily. A direct hit could, but they're buried in mountains at Isfahan. The U.S. may have weapons that could entomb the 60%, but you have to get your hands on it to really be assured that you've destroyed it.
That would require putting boots on the ground.
It would require quite a few boots on the ground.
American or Israeli troops would have to penetrate deep into Iran and would need earth movers to remove the debris blocking the tunnel entrances.
It seems like it would be a very large operation and very risky.
If Iran manages to keep its stockpile, it would still need centrifuges to further enrich the uranium to bomb-grade level. Does Iran have any centrifuges left?
We assume that there could very well be 300, 400, 500 centrifuges that weren't destroyed.
How long would it take them to produce the weapons-grade uranium?
Probably a couple weeks.
The uranium would still have to be fashioned into a weapon, and facilities which develop components for a bomb are under attack. But Albright says the threat from Iran's nuclear program remains. How long would it take them to have a weapon?
6 months is enough for them to have at least a nuclear weapon that maybe can't be delivered on a missile, but could still pose quite a threat if delivered